This is Tina with Loving Life's Little Blessings.
And Wendy with Love and Stampin'.
So we have a really fun video for you guys today. It's going to be a little bit longer because we're going to be talking about Project Life and getting caught up and just some struggles that Wendy's having. She does Project Life as well. And so I thought it would be really fun to start off the video by doing an interview of Wendy and when she started scrapbooking and what she likes about Project Life, and that will kind of give you guys an explanation of where she's at and her struggles. And then later on in the video, we're going to bring all of her stuff out and actually get her caught up to right now, I think. It's September, so she hasn't done anything since April. Okay, so we'll get caught up and we'll show you guys that process when we get to there. But I thought it would be fun to start out a little interview and she can explain, or you'll get a better feel for where she's at. So I kind of thought this would be fun to do like a little tag video. We've been seeing those all over YouTube. So when did you first start scrapbooking?
I think when I was a teenager.
And what did you do, the traditional scrapbooking, or what kind of scrapbooking did you do?
Well, it was just kind of a mess. I can remember as early as being a little girl that I would use old photo albums from my mom's, the kind that had this sticky sheet,
you pulled back.
And you pulled it back.
And it yellowed.
And I would put like newspaper clippings or awards that I'd gotten at school, things like that in there. And then I remember as I got older, I scrapbooked when I lived by myself, and Tina and I lived together for a little while.
Creative memory style.
Yeah, so I did creative memory style, traditional scrapbooking. And then it just progressed from there. So
how many scrapbooks would you say you did like yearly? Like, did you have one you did yearly?
I did, pre-children, I did a scrapbook every year of just what I had going on in my life. And then when I got married, I keep doing this because my husband's sitting in the other room. So when I got married, I did one like of our year together, and then
January through December, a family album.
Yeah, and I did like a wedding album in 2006 and a honeymoon album, like stuff like that.
That you had time to do, really,
yes.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And so, what did you really enjoy about the scrapbooking process?
Being creative.
The creative part?
Yeah. I used to think that it was scrapbooking my memories, which is probably what it should be. But it was actually, I think, the artistic part of it, the creating stuff, and
that aspect.
Being creative.
Right.
I mean, it's a total bonus that it's preserving our memories, because I've got some amazing scrapbooks. But
yeah, she does. I love looking at her scrapbooks. So.
Yeah. We should show some of them.
I was thinking that we totally should. So what did you find difficult about the scrapbooking process?
Actually, I didn't find anything difficult about it until about 2 years ago. So, when I became a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I was just doing it as a hobby. And then somewhere in there it switched gears for me and it became a part-time business. And with my daughter getting older, I was scrapbooking literally like every day of her life, basically. And she would just hang with me when I scrapbooked, or I would scrapbook at night after she went to bed. As she's gotten older, that's gotten harder and harder to do, and I'm homeschooling now, so I'm busier. And now I run somewhere in between a part-time and full-time business.
Nice.
I wouldn't say it's full-time, but I also wouldn't consider it part-time.
Right. You're kind of somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So you have a lot going on. So scrapbooking.
A tremendous amount. So it just became too hard.
Too hard. So when did you first hear about Project Life?
Whenever you told me.
So
So I told Tina, okay, so I had been keeping this big secret because Tina's an avid scrapbooker, so I kept a big secret from her basically
for months
that I just had quit scrapbooking. I gave up. I didn't know how to keep up anymore. And our scrapbooks my scrapbooks were extremely elaborate. every layout was elaborate.
They were really elaborate, traditional pages.
And I used the Cricut on every page to cut out letters and to cut out images, and that amount of time just was not, I just could not do that anymore. So it was something I really missed, but at the same time I was building a business and I was making money, which my family needed, and I was busy with my little girl, and so the time that I had that was, I guess what you would call free time, I spent making cards and prepping for classes and workshops and things like that, because I had really gotten going with Stampin' Up.
So originally I had heard about Project Life. I had seen the video, and I showed it. I kind of talked to her and said to her, I was feeling kind of this, I was in the same place, feeling like I have 3 kids and I don't have the time, and so I saw the video and I kind of showed her, and I remember sitting with her and her watching the video, and it just really resonated with her as like, yeah, I want to do that, but I don't have the time. So we kind of heard it about the same time, and we kind of started doing it about the same time. And so what is it that you enjoy about Project Life? Like, what do you think is your favorite part about it?
Sorry, my
husband's walking. Oh God.
So what did you ask me?
What do you think is what really speaks to you about Project Life when you see
that
this
it was
system?
easy.
That it was easy.
That it took away the guilt of feeling like I had to, that it wasn't scrapbooking if I didn't do these elaborate layouts. That was kind of my hang up, is I felt like I had to do this elaborate layout and make it really fancy to scrapbook it. So I just quit scrapbooking because I didn't have time to do those kind of layouts. So what initially spoke to me about Project Life was that it makes it simple. It's just slipping photos in pockets and journaling, where it's supposed to be.
Right. So we're going to talk a little bit, after we show you where Wendy's at, we're going to talk a little bit about what is maybe hard about Project Life and where it has been hard for her, because it's September. So I started like a full, like really Project Life at the beginning of the year, and that's kind of where you were. You were kind of trying to like start fresh this year. And
I did a mad dash to catch up my last year album, and I literally just like threw pictures in chronological order and journaled what I could remember, and just said, oh well, whatever it looks like, at least pictures are in an album.
Right.
That's how I looked at it.
Yeah, and they were pretty much chronological, and you did some journaling. So her idea was that she would start fresh at the beginning of the year and then keep up with it. So she's had some struggles this year, and some things have been difficult. And so what we're going to do right now is we'll end this part, and we'll really get into showing you
what my stuff's like,
where she's at, because I know a lot of people are at this place. Project Life has kind of exploded into this really big, amazing thing, and while that is wonderful, there are a lot of people I feel like that can really benefit from Wendy just being honest and dumping all of her stuff out here and showing you where she's really at, because we all get behind. Not all of us can stay caught up, and some of us are at the really fancy end of Project Life where we do a lot, and then some of us aren't. And I think that I sometimes feel like maybe people feel if they're not doing all the embellishing and all the creative stuff and fun stuff, then they can't do Project Life. And so I really want Wendy to just show you guys where she's at, and we're going to show you the process of getting caught up we'll show you her album, where it's at, and then how we're going to get caught up. So when
I just wanted to add something, since we're having these honest moments. I feel like with Project Life, it's like everything else in the world. You take something, humans, we take something really simple and we make it complicated. And I feel like that's kind of what has happened with Project Life. It's like, it's exploded, which is good for some people, like Tina. It's good because she probably would have been bored to just be doing it the same old way. However, I go to her house and I look at her albums, and it gives me that same old feeling. of
I
feeling,
can't do this.
I can't do this, mine's not going to look cute, and feeling guilty again.
Right.
And so, I just hope that somebody out there can relate to me and say, yeah, I feel that way too. That I just want to be able to preserve our memories, journal, so that my daughter someday has something to look back on. Because I think in a digital era, I know so many people who keep all their photos on their computer. And how sad is that? Because then you don't even get to look at your pictures, or you don't get to share it with your family and friends, trips you've been on and stuff like that. I know my mother-in-law just told me recently she has 15,000 photos on her computer. None of those are printed, or very few. So I just think, hopefully, I'm hoping that this helps somebody out and knowing that you're not alone, or hopefully I'm not alone.
Well, and I feel like I get a lot of emails, and so I have found a really great place for my project life and my aspect of memory keeping. And while I still love the core kit idea, and I still love the idea of just slipping things in pockets, I definitely, if I have more time, I do like to do a little bit more. But there are months that I'm just like, I gotta get it done, and I gotta, I like being caught up. I like knowing I just have 1 week's of photos to print. So I think there is a place for everybody, and I think that there's not a lot of people out there, there's not a lot of bloggers that I have found that just keep it simple and are just like that they're okay with just, this is what I've done, and they show it probably because they feel like, well, it's not as beautiful as so-and-so's. So let's just get started on getting your stuff out here. We'll come back and we'll show you where we're at, and we'll just jump right into getting caught up.
Stored. They're in this drawer. I've got a bazillion different little cards like this because Tina behind the camera here is a hoarder of Project Life
all things
cards.
Project Life.
And so she gives me her scraps.
We'll chat about that later.
Anyway, so I have all these boxes and this super cute one Tina made for me.
So this kind of the story is that this probably keeps me up more at night than it keeps Wendy up.
Yeah, I could really care less at this point.
But I just cannot let it go. I just want her to preserve her life. People, I just want her to.
Okay.
So this is the stuff, this is her kits, right?
Yes.
This is all the stuff. And this is a box that I just made for her, and it has core kit stuff in it.
Okay, so if you come over here.
Sorry guys.
Come on over.
So let me just get over here.
Don't mind the Stampin' Dimensional backs all over the floor. God, how disgusting is this floor? Okay.
All right.
This is where I have moved all of my Project Life.
So I'm very proud. It's very organized. Oh no, it's not.
If you see the camera suddenly go to the ceiling, it's because Tina has passed out. Okay. So it is actually kind of organized. This one's empty. This is all paraphernalia. Like, I don't know what. I'll show you on this. Okay, so we'll put it up there.
Yeah, we'll put it up there.
This is my album. Which, I don't know if any of you have this issue with the top bowing like that.
No, nobody has that issue. Well, maybe people do, but...
You don't know if anybody does. She thinks she knows everything. Listen, see how it bows like that?
Mine have never.
Why does mine do that? I don't know. If you know, let me know. And
hers does it,
I have
all right,
this
so then she has her page
hopper full of little plug. You can get these from Stampin' Up. Just saying.
No, you can't. Not anymore. You can't. They
can't?
retired.
They retired?
Yes.
Well, that's a shame. Okay. So then
there goes your plug.
This is where
I
just started.
You just started throwing stuff in there. And photos. So this is all the photos that she has from.
And I just recently did this. Let me tell y'all, this was stacked in a drawer, all on top. Can they see me?
Yeah.
Oh. This was stacked.
The lighting's really bad. Sorry, guys.
I'm sorry. Here,
it's because we're in front of the window. So let's just move over here. Yeah, that's way better.
Okay. So
We wanted to show you where she kept all of it. So she does have a designated spot
that just recently occurred.
where she can put stuff.
Right. So here's all my page protectors, and they are some Stampin' Up, some Project Life. And then my my album, then my photos.
These are all photos, and these are what you recently had these printed? So they're pretty current. They're all the way up
July.
to July. Okay.
So this is like May, June, July, all the way to the end of July.
Okay. So
I think.
from April, right? That's the last time you did anything.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a pretty good amount of photos in there.
Yeah. And then I have one more thing in this room I forgot till right now. I have this album. This is my daughter's school album. So I've never finished this either. And I feel like I should.
Okay.
And there's a lot of stuff in there from her.
That is her stuff.
Preschool time. So I would like this album to be all preschool. So it really needs to be out here because there's a lot of stuff in there.
Okay. So this is where we're at. And what we're going to do now is, I think we'll put you back up on the tripod. We'll set you guys over here. And then we'll probably speed this part up. But we're going to start sorting. I think we'll do it like chronologically. Don't you think? Like we'll sort to different months. And then I think then we'll be back and we'll chat a little bit.
Look at how far we've traveled. Look at how much we've done. Truth is, one person can matter.
Back, and we're going to start with Wendy giving a tour of her 2013 album and what she did at the beginning of 2013 and what she how far she got.
Okay, so this is the beginning of the album, and when I started the year, I had a fresh, clean slate, so this is me trying to be creative, and I just did some cute stuff here, and then going into the beginning of the year, I just used what I had, and I did a couple punches. What?
So one of the things that Wendy did at the beginning of the year is she used different size page protectors. So she did this because Stampin' Up! Was selling divided page protectors. So she was using all these different page protectors.
Which was very difficult.
Which is difficult even with the Becky Higgins page. That's something that we're going to talk about at the end. But one of the things that I really think that will help Wendy is just by picking one style of page protector and sticking with it. Because you see on this side, so she had this situation.
I had poison oak, but it's the most disgusting photo.
It is a disgusting photo. So this is what she did on this side. So now when she turns this, she has to deal with that orientation and figuring out how to use this orientation of page protector. So that is one of the things that had been difficult as she was going through her album.
And so, and then I have inserts like this.
8.5 by 11.
8.5 by 11. Well, actually, they're 8 by 10. These are Becky Higgins protectors. And every time I get cards every month from downline, from my upline and stuff, and they're handmade, so I don't have the heart to throw them away. So okay, this is a great example of something that really annoyed me. I hate this. I think it's ugly. It bugs me.
What do you hate about it?
I don't like
the cards, or
I just don't like. It looks too mismatchy and random. So, but I just...
So this is the Clementine. So the thing is that we just got to talk about all this kind of random stuff, guys. So sorry, it's a little bit all over the place. Wendy has a chunk of about 100 different kits. Every time I get a kit, I give her a little bit of a kit. So she has all this stuff to choose from.
And that really... okay, so while we're here talking about that, like if you can... They can see over here, right?
Mm-hmm, they sure can.
So,
The
like
lighting's
these
a little...
are, so like, see, this is turned sideways, week 4, 1/28. So I actually labeled the week here. But
Even though it's Clementine Kit, she's not always been happy with how it wasn't...
I don't know. It just
Like,
I
it
don't
just
know.
didn't, she
It
just didn't
doesn't feel
like it.
So anyway, so there's that. So then, like, I come over here and I made this little joy jump for it or not. The Niners lost the Super Bowl. I'm still getting over it. So anyway, and then like I made this in MDS because again I was trying to feature some Stampin' Up type items, and I'm just realizing at this point that that's, first of all, I don't have to worry about doing that anymore, and second of all, that's not what this is about. This is about just preserving my memories. So I have this insert here, and I just cut this in half. And then this is what I did, like I cut this picture, anyway. So see, then you're over here, and look how messy this is, like, it just drives me nuts. But it's here. It's in the album, so I'm thankful for that. And then here I skip, and now I'm using, that's cobalt, right? Mm-hmm. I'm using cobalt, and so I have these inserts. And
so just
I
one
don't
of
even know what that's for.
One of the things that is a real struggle for her is she would look and think, well, I have to make it interesting, or I don't want to be bored with it, or I want to be more creative. And so, but that led to a bigger problem.
Right. So I feel like, honestly, I feel like I was seeing Tina's albums and feeling like I needed to try to achieve the same thing. And see, like here, I thought, oh, it'd be so cute to have an 8x10 photo, but the orientation was wrong. And this is...
I have some that face this way now. Do you want one?
Yeah. So, anyway, so then that annoyed me, because I felt like, okay, here I tried to be creative, and it's the wrong orientation, and I didn't think it through, and... So there's just, and then like, see, there's no journaling here, because I had so many photos, which is an issue I have. I do not understand. I have an extremely busy life. I don't do one thing a day. So sometimes I have picture, you'll see, I might have 5 different photos from 5 different things I did that day. And I don't understand how to use that with Project Life. So anyway, we'll get there. So then this is a layout that has only one journaling card, and everything else is just
photos and memorabilia.
And this was like my birthday, so I have this as an insert. And then I have all my birthday cards in this thing. And then I have this, I don't even know what that's from. I don't know. Blush. So, anyway, that's that. And then here I did week 8. And
so she likes...
So like, see this? I love the way this looks. Because they all coordinate and it makes sense. So I love the way this looks. I want my whole albums to be like that. To just be very coordinated. And so, but see, then you come over here and look, that bugs me. I don't know. It just, and then these like are all, I don't know. It just bugs me.
So I think that we've come to the conclusion that she has too many options.
Yes, that's an issue. See, I love this. Love this.
So the other thing is that with different core kits, like that's the blush, but this is also the blush. So this isn't. But so one of the things that she has decided is she is going to just use one core kit. She's going to set all of her other supplies aside and use one core kit so that she can feel good about the way things look.
And then this is one of my inserts. I've also decided that every single month I'm going to go through here and I'm going to put an 8x10 pocket like this in every month, even ahead of the months that I have pictures for, because look at this, see, cards. And I have stacks of cards where I want to have a place to keep them. I don't want
and that works out good to have that in between.
So, and then here is when we started doing our Love and Life kits. And see, that's not even finished. It's not even adhered in there.
So what we did find out was she had not finished March.
Yeah.
So we thought March was finished, and it's not. So what we found was she wasn't finished with March, and then she had not done April. So now that you've seen her album and kind of seen where her struggles are, we're going to go to the other side of the table and we're going to show you all the work that we've done we're ready to start putting stuff in her album. So we're going to get to that. So let's go to the other side of the table and look at where we're at and how we organized stuff.
So, what we did, so you saw earlier that I was at my computer and that I was going through and finding the dates for every photo. So that's what we've done. I did that here. So this is April, and this is April's memorabilia. This is May, June, July. And this is what's right above it is the coordinating memorabilia for that month.
So it goes all the way to August or to September?
Well, this part goes to July, and then the memorabilia goes August, and then that's September.
And September. So she has no photos printed. She needs to...
I haven't... All my photos for July are not printed.
Right.
So I need all my photos for August, September, and
a
for the
little
rest
chunk
of
of
July. The thing that we decided is probably the best thing to do is wait till the end of September, and then I'll print all the photos from the middle of July up to September. And so that'll get me caught up till the end of September. So this is where we are now.
So the next thing that we're going to do is...
We're only going to use one core kit.
We're going to go ahead and... She decided to use Seafoam. And Seafoam is a great core kit because it's simple. It's like real clean and simple. And then also, I have a lot of just the cardstock to go with it. Sorry. So we'll be able to... There'll be a lot to work with. So that's what we're going to do for the rest of... Wherever she's at in her album, from here until the end of the year, she's going to use Seafoam. And then at the beginning of the year, she's going to do some other stuff, and we'll talk about that in a little while. Okay, so we're getting to the place where we're starting to insert stuff to the album. So really, at this process, it's starting to feel very overwhelming to look at all these photos and all of this stuff and actually sit down to do it. So I wanted to take a minute to just show you what we're using. Here is the Seafoam. So this is what I mean by it's just very simple. It will all coordinate, and I have a chunk of Seafoam I'm gonna go grab from my stash. So we're gonna have Seafoam 3x4 cards. We're gonna have Seafoam, this is a 12x12 paper, and it's just cut into 6x6. So that way we have other stuff to grab from if we need it. And then this is huge. So this, Wendy often does, like on Facebook, she'll say, oh, Macy said this, or she'll have funny little stories. So these are just quotes, and these are actually from Seafoam, but she's gonna use these, and then we have grid cards. So the only tools that we're using literally are just a trimmer, adhesive in case we need it, and hopefully we won't even need that much of it, and a corner rounder. So that's all she's sitting in front of her to do the rest of this. So it's not even that many items that she needs to go ahead and complete this, and we're gonna dive in and do that. And then we'll be back. Okay, we're back. We're in the middle of putting stuff into her album. We've been using Seafoam, and that's really been working out. So excited. And then Wendy just kind of had an aha moment, and I wanted her to share it with you since it's so fresh.
Earlier today, Tina said to me, why don't you just we're having thunder and lightning storms here today.
Like so crazy.
If you see dogs walking all around in my house and you hear thunder, like that's why my old dog is walking over here because he just heard thunder. So normally they're not all in the house, and normally there's not cracks of thunder happening. But anyway, that's real life, right? So what we're doing, what I was doing is I'm sitting here and I'm just like stuffing pictures in.
She's not doing a title card.
No,
so she's...
But wait, that's not how I came to this. I was sitting here, and I looked down at my little date, because I'm taking a sticky note and dating where all my photos, what date they were taken, so I can go back and do journaling later, because Tina's helping me, and she probably doesn't want to be here till 2 o'clock in the morning. So if I sat and journaled everything, and I could sit and journal on my couch. Like, I wouldn't have to be sitting in here to do that. So I'm just getting the photos in and I'm doing the dates. Well, I just decided I needed some title cards to fill up some space. So I was going through them and I was sitting here and I looked over at the date on this sticky note, 4/15, and I looked right here at this blank spot. Well, I know enough about Project Life to know that that blank spot is to put like week of whatever. I've seen that on a lot of people's albums. So I sat here and I looked at that and I thought, 4/15, week of what? And all of a sudden I realized I'm just sticking them in there, not according to the week.
Just according to the month.
Just according to the month. I'm still going in chronological order, but I'm not making sure I have a title card or a thing at the front of each page or each layout that says
week of
XYZ.
Number 32 or whatever.
Tina said that to me earlier today. When I was trying to do all my stuff on my computer, she said, why don't you just
do it monthly?
Do it monthly. Well, when she said that, I was thinking she meant just throw all your pictures from April into page protectors for the month of April. And not in chronological order. Well, my brain doesn't operate that way. I need to go chronologically. So
she said, no, that won't work for me. I want to do it by week.
I want to do it by week. Well, because Tina speaks Project Life verbiage, she knew what she meant, but I didn't understand what she meant when she said week of, like going by the week. I was not thinking the way she was thinking. So all of a sudden I'm sitting here and it clicked to me, oh, I'm taking the piece of Project Life away that says you have to scrapbook by week.
And that makes it difficult for you. That ties you up.
It takes me longer because I would have to have a calendar sitting here and I would have to be going, okay, all these
and she doesn't enjoy that. That's not what she wants to do.
Week. I don't want to do that. So
and it makes her say, I don't want to do this at all.
Yeah.
This is too hard.
Because it's too time consuming. So going forward, I will be doing all of my Project Life by the month. So it'll be month of April, here it is.
And instead of having that top corner as a title card that says week, like that's how my albums look. I have week number, blah, 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 blah.
I'll just put something else cute.
She'll just, and she could put a journaling there, or there's pages in her album right now that don't have a 4x6 Project Life card at all. It's just purely photos, which also kind of helps her out when she said earlier, I have weeks that I have more photos than I have space for. I don't understand. So
it takes that problem away too.
It gives her a little bit more space in her album to put photos. So yay, so that's where we're at. So we're really excited. We're actually having a really fun time going through and doing these photos. So we'll be back when we have another aha moment.
Welcome back. This is going to be our final segment to this. We hope that you guys have really enjoyed seeing the process and that maybe it's helped you to see how to get caught up. Right now, Wendy, we just did all of April and we popped in here and talked about doing photos monthly, but I just thought we would end this. I'm gonna ask Wendy a few questions and just get her thoughts now. We've been at this since it's a little after 3 and we've been at this since about 10. I think it probably took us like, what do you say, like about an hour to do April. So, and that was like, she had a couple big things happen in April, so she used a couple inserts, and so we stopped and we like figured out how that would work, and then July is going to be another big month for her because she had a lot of stuff going on. So I think in general you could do about a month in an hour if you didn't have very many items. So how are you feeling now that you've done an entire month where you've gotten your photos in and you've used one kit?
I feel really good about it. It went really easy as far as using the one kit and not feeling the stress of having a bunch of different kits out here and a bunch of different stuff to fuss with. So that made the process way easier. What I found at the end of April is that now I want to use a different kit because I'm going into May and the seafoam kit that we were using has like oranges and tans and blacks and blues. And it kind of struck me, May's like springy, summery time, and so I do have the blush kit, so I think that I'm going to probably use the blush kit for May. But I like the idea of using one kit per month. You wouldn't even have to do that. You could just do the same kit all year long.
Right. But if you did get part of it, I think with Project Life is, especially if you come from a scrapbooking background, like both of us come from that doing scrapbooking creatively, so you can kind of tend to feel like, well, now I'm bored. Like this is
like I do feel that way.
Not working. So I do think that
I just did the 1 month, and I'm like, okay, let's do a different kit.
Let's do something different. So, but I think the key is at least doing it for 1 month and feeling like it's flowing well, because another month you have another divider, so you know like it's going into something different. So I think that was really it. I think that your plan is really to kind of do that. We'll see. We'll use blush this month for May, and we'll see how it goes. And then I'd love to know where you guys are at, and if you're struggling with something, or if you found something that works. I know Wendy, her photo situation, like what are you doing for your photos? How do you do that? We would really love to hear from you guys. So definitely leave us comments, and it'll be fun. And then we'll be checking in with Wendy after we get all of her album done. I'm sure we'll be able to take some photos, and then we'll check in with her in a couple weeks and see how she's doing. So thanks you guys so much for coming by and hanging out with us, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Okay, hi everybody. One more thing. So, because Wendy decided that she could probably use a different core kit each month, we've been sitting here and we came across something really fabulous, and that's really going to work for her. So I'm going to let her chat with you.
Alright, so Tina has a whole bunch of these trays saved that she never got rid of. So what we're going to do is, I need it as simple as possible and as compact as possible. So what she's going to do is she's going to get some more of these from her house. And
those are just the trays the core kits come in.
Yeah. So we're going to organize all of, I have a lot of random stuff because I think we said it earlier, Tina has given me a bunch of her different core kits. I bought I think I bought 2 core kits, and then Tina and I split one of them, yada yada yada. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to write up here in a Sharpie what the name of the core kit is, and then Tina has organized them and is going to organize them: journaling cards, filler cards, extra.
Up there is going to be a little chunk of grid cards and for journaling that are just like neutral, and then
that can be used in every. We're going to put grid cards and these quote cards in every one of my kits because they can go with it.
And she's going to use them. Oops.
Yeah, and I'll use them.
And then down here, I'm just putting if it says currently or something like that you would just not necessarily use for journaling, but you would use it for journaling. So then I'm going to write on there for her journaling cards, filler cards, and then extras.
And then up here she'll probably put something
grid card, journal
grid,
yeah.
Cards
so this way, when she is getting ready to do this, she can pull out one box,
filler card, and I can pull out filler cards.
Right, when she's looking for a filler card, and she knows she doesn't have to flip those over. She can literally just, I need a filler card. So I think that's going to be fabulous for her, and she'll only just have that one sitting out. So I mean, it's just like clicking for her. She cannot get through these pages fast enough now. She's just...
I'm super excited, yeah. Everything's going really smooth, and it's a lot of fun.
So very exciting. So thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later.